Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from thechrisvossshow.com, thechrisvossshow.com. Current blog post we want to share with you, of course, review the latest in social media and technology. This is the Nokia Lumia 810 from T-Mobile. You can go to t-mobile.com. That's t-mobile.com. And check out all the wonderful phones, of course, reviewed for T-Mobile. And this is from Nokia. This is kind of a step down from the bigger brother that it has, the Nokia Lumia 920. And it's a much more inexpensive model comparatively also. But let's talk about this one, see how it measures up. Now, it is about the same size as the Nokia Lumia 920, but it weighs much less and feels much better in its weight and size. The height of it is 5.03 inches, width is 2.69 inches, depth is 0.42 inches, and the weight is 5.11 ounces or 145 grams. It's a great little Windows phone, especially for the price that you can usually get this at. And it's definitely comparable to the quality that you're going to find with the Lumia 920. Let's talk about some of the other aspects of it. It's got an 1800 milliamp hour battery, which is really great for time. Your GSM talk time is up to 10.3 hours. Your 3G talk time is up to 10.2 hours. GSM standby up to 400 hours. 3G standby time up to 360 hours, and the charging time takes about 3 hours to do. Memory inside of it is an 8 gigabyte internal flash memory with 1 gigabyte of RAM, expandable up to 64 gigabytes with an SD card. So the cool thing is you can expand the memory with this, whereas with the 920 you cannot. Let's see, what else do we have in here? We've got a 1.5 gigahertz dual core Snapdragon S4 processor. It's got, of course, the Windows 8 OS on it. And it's got a 480 by 800 pixel resolution, 4.3 inch screen. And let's see, what else do we have in this little baby? It's, of course, NFC capable. It's got the Carl Zeiss optics on the back camera. On the rear-facing camera, you're looking at 8 megapixels with dual LED flash and a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera for video chat. HD camcorder across at the back, 1080p. So that gives us a rundown of Lumia 810, and let's take a look at it. It's definitely speedy. There's really no slowness that I kind of expected, maybe coming from a bigger brother to a little brother. Maybe I expected some slowness, but I don't really see that. The camera seems to be just as good on the quality and stuff that you can take and do. So I've been fairly impressed with the device. I like that it's lighter. It definitely is a difference maker for me. If you like the 920, but you're like, wow, I want a lighter phone, you can definitely use this as well. Up top here, we have the front-facing camera. We have your speaker for making calls, and then we have a back button, a home button or start button, if you will, according to Windows and how they call it. And then, of course, we have a search button. You can see it has the live tiles and everything that is the aspect of the Windows Metro, or whatever they're calling it this week, experience. Taking a look at the design of the case, it's kind of boxy in its build, but like I say, it's about the same as the 920, especially in height, a little bit thinner in width than the 920, just very small smidgen, if you will, but still, it does a really good job. You've got the Carl Zeiss optics, dual flash here, and you've got the solid back. Now, one thing that's different is around the top, we're not rounded, we have the squared. You have your microphone, or not your microphone, but your headphone, and your microphone is actually over here, headphone being here. Down the left-hand side, there's really nothing there. It's just a slate. And on the bottom, you have the speaker and your charging dock port. On the side, you have your button for a shutter button, taking pictures. You have the power button, and you have your volume rocker button here. Now, one of the real defining differences about the 810, which gives it some cool features over the 920 that you might want to take and get is this, of course, has a removable back. And in removing the back, we have the ability to put an expandable micro SD card right up in here. It actually slots right above the SIM card. And of course, the other thing you have is removable battery, which some people like, because with removable batteries, they can take and switch out the batteries when they want to and when they run out of juice. So those are some aspects that people like that they may not like about the Lumia 920, the bigger brother to the 810. So even though this is a kind of supposed to be a step-down model, there are some definite defining aspects of it that make it a really cool phone you can't find if you upgrade. So the 810 has got some really cool things that way. With the camera on the 810, it seems and appears to have the same exact camera that's in the 920. The camera works extremely well. It's got great performance to it, great flash. The dual flashes on the back really help you get light when you're doing video and really help you get light, of course, when you need a flash. So there's no hindrance of light when you need it. So that works really well. The camera rocks, 8 megapixels. It's got, it's going to get you great images like the Carl Zeiss Nokia phones will. So very impressive in that way. And like I said, I mean, considering this is a step down on price, it's a great value considering what you're getting with it. I expected this to have a 5 megapixel camera in it because it was a step down from the 920, but no, it's got a great camera in it that you can really be impressed with. All in all around, the Lumia 810 is a great phone. It's very speedy. I don't see any lag of it. I really expected it not to be as good as the 920, but I really can't see too much difference in its operation and how it does things. It might be a little slower, but not that I really notice when it comes down to it. It seems to do very fast for what's on it, and it comes with an 8 megapixel phone too, which is really, really cool. Other than that, it operates and performs extremely well. It's definitely a great phone, and I'm very impressed with it in using it. There's not much difference between it and its upper brother, and the difference is kind of separate it and give it its own kind of unique personality. It's definitely a lighter phone, which is more comfortable to take and have. One of the last things about the phone is, of course, it has a great big screen, and so for the price of what you're paying for this phone, it definitely is going to be a wonderful value, especially if you're a Windows product person. One aspect about Windows, you don't quite get as many great apps as you do on other platforms for OSs. But for many people, that's not important. It still runs a great Skype and still runs a great different other things that you can use to communicate with people. And it's a great phone overall. Be sure to check it out. Go to t-mobile.com. That's t-mobile.com. Tell them Chris Voss sent you. Chris Voss tested, Chris Voss approved. Be sure to check him out. Tell them Chris Voss sent you. Thumbs up. Great product. We really enjoyed it. And yeah, this is a wonderful compliment to people who don't want to step up to the higher level of the 920, want something that weighs a little bit less, but still gives them the rich internals that were found with the Nokia Lumia products. Be sure to check them out, and be sure to check back to the ChrisVossShow.com often.